Hi, it's my pleasure to deliver a presentation on circular economy and business models, concept applications and research opportunities. I'm Beatriz, Lopes de Sousa Jabbour, Professor of Supply Chain Management for Sustainable Development within Lincoln International Business School at the University of Lincoln. The agenda of the presentation consists of building the concept of circular economy business models, a description of the circular economy business models, some examples of applications of the circular economy business models, and finally, suggestions on academic research avenues. Let's see some figures. The world is 9% circular. In 2017, packaging waste reached in Europe a record of 173 kilos per inhabitant. Electronic equipment is one of the fastest growing waste streams in the European Union. It is estimated that less than 1% of all textiles worldwide are recycled into new textiles. What's the reason for this? It is because the current production and consumption system is based on a linear economy. The linear economy is characterized by extracting natural resources, producing products, consuming products, and finally disposing of used products. The problem is a lot of waste has been generated because of the linear economy perspective, and it's time for change. From the circular economy perspective, waste is seen as potential resource which can be used as a raw material, component, or source of energy, either within the same process or in another supply chain. The circular economy is an economic model which attempts to extract the greatest possible value from the materials and energy used in products to avoid unnecessary and excessive consumption of raw materials and energy. The main aim is to keep materials, components, and waste circulating, thus maximizing the value of resources. Elements of a circular economy. The elements are the use of renewable energy, so transition towards renewable energy instead of fossil energy, the use of no toxic substances and no depletion of natural resources, the adoption of new business models, for example, paying for use instead of ownership, producer remains the product's owner, product design should be reassessed. So, for example, taking reuse, repair, the use of modular parts, and a different production process into account, and a supply chain collaboration because new members of a supply chain will be integrated in this perspective of a circular economy in order to be possible to maximize the use of resources. The circular economy can be understood from four different perspectives: products, companies, industries, and countries. In terms of benefits, circular economy, the adoption of principles and practices related to circular economy can bring benefits such as decrease in extraction from materials, reduction in dependence on natural resources, mainly finite resources, the creation of new jobs, the improvement of competitiveness of organizations. But in order to achieve those benefits from the circular economy perspective, it's important and it is required a change in purchasing habits, laws, managerial frameworks. So there is a set of conditions to really enable the adoption of principles and practices related to the circular economy. Let's see the business models of the circular economy. According to Ellen MacArthur Foundation, there is the Resolve framework, which explains the six different business models which are aligned with the perspective of the circular economy. The business models are regenerate, which aims restore natural capital; share, which aims to sell the access to services instead of selling products; optimize, which aim to reduce waste throughout supply chains; and to adopt the hierarchy related to repair, reuse, remanufacture, and recycle; loop, which is related to a closed loop supply chains; virtualize, which aims to sell products and services from a virtual perspective instead of selling tangible products; and exchange, which is related to the adoption of the technologies which are able to reduce consumption of finite resources. Let's see some examples of the application of the business models of the circular economy. According to some leading manufacturers, let's see what they have done in terms of circular economy practices. Philips is moving from selling equipment to offering customers access to, rather than ownership, products. So by moving away from purely transaction sales approach, Philips has achieved 59% material reuse. Currently, 9% of Philips' total revenues are categorized as a circular, and the aim is to reach 15% in 2020. And Philips have adopted share and loop business models. Taiku. Taiku has developed a process of dyeing cloth that uses no water at all and no chemicals. It uses highly pressurized supercritical carbon dioxide, halfway between a liquid and a gas, that dissolves the dye and carries it deep into the fabric. The carbon dioxide then evaporates and is in turn recycled and used again. 98% of dye is absorbed by the cloth, giving vibrant colors. And because of cloth doesn't need to dry, the process takes half the time, uses less energy, and even costs less. The companies already has partnerships with major brands like Nike and IKEA. Taiku has adopted exchange and optimized business models. ILA Mobile works with many of the world's leading manufacturers and service providers to repurpose and reuse either the devices themselves or their components. It's estimated that more than 50 million devices have been reused, making 4 billion for their owners and stopping 6,500 tons of e-waste ending up in landfill. ILA Mobile has applied loop business model. Netflix, Spotify are examples of organizations that have applied virtualization business model. So stream of films, digital music services, and audiobooks are examples of dematerialization products, a shift to delivering online products or services rather than buy tangible products. So those leading organizations have adopted different kinds of circular economy business models, and they have gained different benefits, which includes reduction of costs, amplifying the market, the possibility of increased resilience because of the dependence on finite resource, for example. So circular business models uh, is a way to improve and to enhance uh, competitiveness in organizations and to improve aspects of environmental performance and social performance as well. When we think about the possibility of generating new jobs and the possibility of offering products and services for a large number of consumers. Topics to pay attention to are European circular economy transition. Product as a service. So it's important to think about not only selling products, but product as a service through product life extension. And in order to do this, consider upgradability and maintenance services. Sharing platform and virtualization will require digital technologies such as apps and virtual reality. Close the loop will demand track and trace systems and optimize business model will require waste prevention and reduction by means of the application of the synergies between Lean and Green 4.0. Suggestions on academic research avenues. So in order to apply the concepts and the principles of circular economy, it's important to consider design for circular economy. So in order to do this, it's important to consider concepts of last longer products, product service systems, and product passport. Consumers' willingness towards a shift from ownership to access and a return product policy. So it's important to try to understand how consumers are willing to collaborate in terms of returning products back to be possible to reuse, repair, remanufacture, recycle them. It's important to involve and engage consumers in order to show the importance of considering that would be more interesting to buy the access of a product instead of buy a product per se. So this putting consumers at the spotlight, it's a research avenue opportunity. Cooperation, trust, share information across members of supply chains in order to track and trace flow of materials and information. So in order to put loop business model in action, practice, in place, it's important to understand the structure of supply chain, the design of supply chain, and to develop a different perspective of cooperation, collaboration between them. And would be very important to consider the role of digital technologies in order to really integrate members of a supply chain. So actually, there are uh, avenues for academic research. And through this presentation, I hope that it would be possible to help to understand more what circular economy is, what the business models of circular economy are, in order to help you to understand this concept and to start developing it through your research or in organizations. So there are some references that supported this presentation. They are here, so please feel free to access them. Thank you very much for your attention. If you'd like to share some information or ask questions, please feel free to contact me. Thank you very much.